Welcome back, people. Saunders, good to see you again. Another week, another fucking pod.
Another one, another week, another
Bro,
fucking pod.
I'm loving this. I don't know about you, bro.
Episode 3, bro. Like I said to you before, a lot of people weren't expecting us to be here.
Weren't
Still
expecting
3
it.
weeks in.
Still here,
So if
episode
you're watching
3.
this, you know who you are.
Yeah, if you know. Now, if you are watching this as well, very start of the pod, just do the right thing. Support the boys. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you want me to ask Ed. Let Ed what you know what you want to ask me. Let us know how we're doing. Drop us some feedback. Let us know. We're just chilling. It's free. It's
Come on, guys.
It's the only thing we will ever ask you to do is drop a like, drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Support the boys.
We've got a bunch of content coming up. We're cooking. We are literally cooking. So, Ed, we'll kick it off again with what we like to do every week.
Yeah.
Start with the monk mode. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to get my habits up. You probably can't because your phone's recording.
Yeah.
But my habits this week have not been great, to be honest. But how has monk mode been going for you this week, would you say?
I think my habits have been good. I just haven't been tracking as much. That's been my issue.
I'd probably agree with that.
I think the one thing that I do need to change is with reading, and I don't know whether anyone else can resonate with this. I read when I go to bed, and it's the wrong time to do it.
I agree.
It's good. It's a substitute for obviously going on your phone and like exposing yourself to the light of the phone because it does help you sleep better. But I'm dropping off after like 5-6 pages. I'm tired.
Do you find that when you read at night as well, you kind of forget the information by the morning, or it hasn't fully? You haven't been able to digest it properly because you've gone straight to sleep after you've read it.
Now, you know what? I've actually read some studies on this, to be fair. There's some studies that say it's actually better for you to congest information
before you go to bed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that, either, to be fair.
And then obviously there's something else that also says listening to something in the night as well. That obviously puts it into your brain subconsciously.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I don't know, but I just feel like I like reading in the morning. I do like reading in the morning.
I used to, when I was on the morning routine before in monk mode in January, it was the morning. I'd make breakfast, and while I ate my oats, I'd read for like 45 minutes, and I'd be able to read 2 books, 20 minutes each. Yeah. So I'd like sit, and it's probably not good to overwhelm yourself. And again, this was us being extreme in January. Got to get 2 books in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think reading in the morning is definitely more beneficial, to be totally honest.
Do you read 2 books at the same time then? Because I've been having a conversation with myself about this because I'm a bit like, I want to read 2 books, but then I'm like, would I watch 2 films? Would I watch a 20-minute film and
I guess. So you're comparing it to films, where I'd compare it to series.
Okay. Yeah.
Where if you was watching one series and then another series come out, like let's say you watch Power, but you also like Vampire Diaries, you're still going to watch the 2, ain't you? But I think people might have a different opinion on this as well, but I'm very indecisive on this one. I think it's better to just dive into one book and just keep your entire attention on that and focus on that book and just consume all the knowledge you can. But at the same time, it's good to. I feel like your brain has the capability to look between 2 books and understand this book and understand that book. Like maybe read a book in the morning and then one in the afternoon. Like we said, maybe not at night. But I feel like you could do it. I feel like you could do it.
Something in the morning that's more like productive and something that you're learning about a bit different on the
like
evening.
History.
Yeah.
Meditations in the afternoon.
Yeah,
that's actually not a bad shout.
Yeah.
Meditations in the afternoon and like Goggins in the morning to get you up.
So, isn't it, bro? I was gonna say, like, I can't read in the mornings. I'm sometimes like, I just want to get out there, innit?
Yeah.
Get the logs on the back of it, bro. Get going. You know what I mean?
Someone's got to carry on.
Someone's got to do it. So yeah, but apart from that, like I'd say struggles from this week in terms of the habits. I've been consistent and I've overcome a lot as well. You know, where there's been days I'm like, fuck, my day's busy. Where am I going to get stuff done?
Where am I going to fit it in?
I've actually managed to do it, and like that was a big. That was just a big turning point. I was like, oh, you know what?
No excuses.
Yeah, I can keep this.
Yeah.
Some days I was like, okay, I've got to get up and do my cardio here. Then I've got to be over here. Then I've got to do this. Then I've got to do that. But then I've also got to do my habits and do this and do that. And I'm like, you know what?
It's a chore.
Just take the emotion out of it. Be stoic and just get it done.
Just get it done. Simple. Yeah. Who was I talking to the other day? Dan, actually, my boy Dan. I was speaking to him the other day. He dropped a banger comment. Yo, Dan, I don't know if you get any seen the comment yet, and I'm about to drop it like it's hot right now. He dropped a comment on our last pod saying, Sega and Legend Lad are back at it or something like that. I was like, oh my God.
Dan who?
Danza. Welsh Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Shout
out to Dan,
Shout out to Dan. Dan. I was like, Sega and Legend Lad. I was like, that's wild. It was so sick to read that comment.
So to give some context behind that, obviously, we used to play, like everyone else, at fucking, 13, 14 or whatever it was, like all the COD games and Modern Warfare 2 and do all the trick shotting and all that kind of stuff. So We were hard on it.
Hard.
We had the PVR, which is like your recording device.
Yeah.
This was way before like the iPhone cameras and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you needed it to record
OBS, for any of the streamers, OBS was literally just becoming a thing. Like, OBS wasn't even about. It was like, yeah, I don't remember the software that you'd have to use. It was like Sony Vegas. That was it.
Yeah,
that was
Vegas,
literally it.
You download it off some dodgy little YouTube
shit
and,
torrent. Yeah.
Before you'd actually get the proper thing, you'd have about 20 viruses.
Risking the whole family PC just to get Sony Vegas. So yeah, me and Ed used to be pretty decent trick shotters back in the day. So yeah, so that's a bit of backstory for everyone. We used to spin on Modern Warfare 2 and collect clips, and we knew Dan through that. And yeah, Eddie was called Legend Ladder, which was a part of a map on one of the MW2 maps, and I was just known as Sega. I was just obsessed with Sonic and Sega, I guess, from when I was young, so I was just Sega. So
was Sega Fortnite as well? Sorry, not Fortnite. What's that game you played? Street Fighter? Is that Sega?
Yeah.
That's what it was, isn't it? Yeah.
Sega.
See, it's mad though, because if you pull it back on like a granular level, I've always liked doing content.
Yeah,
bro.
I was saying this to Dan, literally. I was like, and I'll get back to my point of why did I even mention Dan in the first place? Do you remember?
So bad at this.
We do this all the time. We were literally just saying, let's not start skipping topics in the next pod. Anyway, what was the topic we were talking about? We were talking about stoicism. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. That's 20 conversations with that, wasn't it?
How long have we been doing this pod? 5 minutes. I'm already lost. But yeah, I was saying to Dan the other day, I said, if you practice stoicism and you just didn't take things as good or bad, that it's just whatever it is. If you had a sick day at work, it's not a sick day at work, it's just another day at work. If you had a shit day and the car broke down, it's not a shit day, the car just broke down. If you just take everything out of emotion, and I was telling him about when you start taking it serious and how much of a god you'll be when you start practicing stoicism. And I was gassing you up. I was like, Eddie's like, he's loving it now. He's learning about stoicism. Man. And I was like, I told him about it like 8 months ago. And I was like, you practice stoicism and you will be a demon. And I think if most men were to really understand stoicism and take into practice the belief system behind it. And again, we spoke about it a little bit in the past podcast, and we're definitely going to speak about it more going forward because it's something we practice every day. Definitely. So yeah, I think men out there look into stoicism. I know we always like to talk about it, but definitely look into it, and it will just change your entire outlook on how you deal with mundane, everyday situations. Your sister talks to you like shit. Ah, well, no one cares. Mom talks to you like shit. Ah, well, don't care. Car breaks down. No, don't care. Just won 10 bags. No, don't care. Like, nothing matters. It's just one singular level of neutral perspective. 100%.
So what about you then, bro? How's your week been with the habits?
I would say it's pretty much a very similar answer to yours. I'd say I've been keeping on top of them. I've definitely been trying to I've been doing my push-ups every single day. I wake up and I'll bang 20 out, and I'm like, every time I finish doing 20 push-ups, I'm like, nice. I say every time I'll jump up, finish my 20, I'm like, banged. Water I've been keeping up on top of, as you can see. I filled it up before we started. The reading I feel like I've been lacking on big time, just because of the amount of
mineral water.
Mineral?
Is it spring?
I don't know, Luke. Please don't judge us. Please, Luke, if you ever watch the pod. Don't worry, we're going to start getting the spring.
The filterization.
But yeah, I think the reading I've been slacking on a lot this week, and really, there's no excuse for it. I should just make time for it, so I won't make any excuses for it. I hate to say I'm not going to make an excuse for it and then follow my next sentence with kind of something that sounds like an excuse. I have just been mad busy. I've met my son today for the first time in 7 years, which was fucking incredible. One of the best moments that's happened to me for a while. So there's backstory behind all of my stories you can find out on ICKS channel. You know what I'm saying? Go sub. But yeah, it was a fucking great day today. And obviously I've been with my other son as well the past week as well. So it's getting the clips out and getting the podcast. There's just been a lot of shit to do really just to stay on top of. But I think now we're kind of in a consistent pattern with the pod and whatnot. I need to, again, like you said, reading at night is not good. I think I just need to bang it out in the morning. Same with the meditation. Just meditate, read in the morning, do my press ups, and then I can carry on doing my press ups for the day and just bang it out. But I've been sticking really consistent. I've made so many notes. Like, I just feel locked in, bro.
Yeah,
like, even though it's not as much of a mandatory, hardcore monk mode than what we did in January, I feel like, yeah, it just feels really good.
Yeah, it does.
It feels really good, bro. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. There's one little part of my life that needs meditation and attention to it, and that's it. That little small piece of it, and that will come just by meditating.
All right.
So I'm feeling fucking great, bro. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
So obviously we're coming into the 1st of August on Tuesday. if you're going to lock in to do this for a month, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to tweak? Because obviously, I know you can obviously tweak stuff along the way, but I just don't think it would be good to minus stuff out of it once you've already started it, because you're just going to feel like you've bitched out of it.
Only add stuff, anywhere between 1 to 3 more topics, I'd say. I wouldn't have said so. I would have said reduce the screen time, but I'm such a fucking...
It's tough though. It's so tough, and I don't like. I know that's what one of E-Man's original things. Like, you know, you want to be having less than like 2 hours screen time. Like, to be honest, it's probably possible for a lot of people if you're not kind of doing content and that kind of thing.
Or if you're not running your own social medias.
Yeah.
Like if you've got someone running
your socials, it's fine. But to be honest, even like learning, like a lot of the stuff, and I know we encourage books a lot, but you can obviously get a lot of value off YouTube and that 100%. Kind of thing. Like I've listened to like 8 TED Talks today.
Yeah.
And like they're all like, what, 20 minutes long or something like that.
And they're packed full of information.
Yeah. And even just stuff like I suppose it counts as screen times. Like I was doing the vacuuming today, but I've got a podcast on.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still going to accumulate. I fall asleep with the podcast on as well. So by the time I wake up, I'm already on like
8 hours. Yeah. You've already done a shift on the blower. Already done a shift on the blower. Literally. Oh, I hate that. I had a screen time about 3 weeks ago when I was on my American time zone business, bro. I had a 24-hour. Honestly, I'll put it on Instagram somewhere. I had a 24-hour. Because obviously, from when it hit 12, I was already on my blower. Then I'd already gone to sleep for like 2 hours because my phone keeps pinging up, lighting up. Or I think I'd fell asleep and my phone doesn't lock. So I woke up and then just been back on my phone. So it literally, bro, every bar was up. Every bar was up. So I was like, why have I done 24 hours, bro?
That's what I was just going to say to you. Like, what's the highest screen time you have? You've clocked the game,
I think I've clocked it, yeah. And I've got the
24/7.
screenshot to prove it. I genuinely have it, so I don't think I'm bullshitting.
That's disgusting. That
yeah,
is. But the thing is, though, like it's in context, like you know, it's perspective though. Because
that's when I was
you're like sitting there, like watching porn all day. Are you?
Exactly, exactly. Don't watch porn. I was DJing just fucking straight trading, bro.
Yeah.
Locked into markets for 3 hours. But anyway, monk mode. I think we've covered that for the start of this one anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we move on to recent news?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So the best way to kick this off is we obviously wanted to get a little friend sat here today.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't actually come in.
Saunders brought it up just before we started. He was like, "Why didn't we get a little green alien friend to sit with us for this pod?" And I was like, "Ah!"
So as you've all heard, aliens
are here. They're here. They're literally here, and they're real. Like
I was right now.
I turned to my mum earlier, and I was like, "They're real. What the fuck? They're literally what?"
It's weird, isn't it? What does an alien look like?
This is it. My mum says she doesn't believe that they're little green men just pulling around with little fingers and that. I personally believe, and bringing this kind of from our conversation, I believe they're like shapeshifters. They look like me and you. They look like me and you.
They've come from like a parallel universe almost. That kind of thing.
I think they're just able to shapeshift. I think they because they're an alien being. There's no kind of ceiling on what they're able to do anymore. And I'm not saying they can just, but I mean, yeah, me personally, I think potentially, because I don't, like, what else would they look like? If they're coming onto our planet and they want to find out about human intelligence, how else are they going to do it without looking like a human?
But have they come to Earth, or have we got them?
Yeah, that's well, they had to have come here, innit? We couldn't have made some kind of well, let me get into the story first before we start. We always do this. So this month, United States Air Force officer and former intelligence official David Grush, sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, publicly claimed that unnamed officials told him that the US federal government maintain a highly secretive UFO recovery program and is in possession of non-human spacecraft and dead pilots. So they've recovered non-human biology from these beings, for these pilots, and they've recovered metals that don't line up with any metal we have on this planet.
But couldn't that just be undiscovered metal? Because, you know, loads of metals, like, I don't know, whatever metal there is, you know, whatever you want to call it, there was probably loads of metals on this Earth that were at one point undiscovered.
I think based on where the metals have been found, they've always been found on like a crash site. It's not just like, oh, we've just dug up this Earth and there's a new metal here. It's not that. It's always like a crash landing or some mysterious. Again, there's so much research to do into aliens and UFOs, and I think it's such an interesting topic. I think when you're young, you're very naive because of like Men in Black and like, you know, films that you watch that depict aliens, and I think you're like, I don't know, but like as you get older and like, I don't know, I think it's a really fucking interesting topic.
mad,
I think it's really interesting. There was documents when JFK died, there was a lot of UFO kind of sightings and stuff going on in the 60s and 70s as well, I think. And there was documentation that was released like 20 years after the death of JFK. And these were also records on alien life forms and like pilots from the Air Force that had seen like UFOs and shit.
So there was one actually I said recently. It was like 2004. I remember this. I think Rogan had spoken about this actually.
I think you're right.
I want to say it was an American. I think it was a US Navy pilot.
Always, yeah. And he's talking about over the water.
Yeah.
It goes down to like mad levels and they're back up.
Yeah. That's it. And he's obviously got like a radar, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's like a grey radar. And there's this thing just
and he's following it.
And right.
And it just.
He said it was in like a tic tac shape. It was.
Yeah. And he said its movements were nothing like any. Aircraft that we have. Like, it was doing movements.
And because he was over the sea as well, he said nothing could have been going that fast in the sea.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Bro, it's wild.
What is that?
What are we going to do?
What could that be?
Bro, what does that planet life look like knowing that there's genuinely like alien life form here?
We're walking around and there's aliens on this planet now.
Bro, not only all the shit we've got going on at the moment.
We've got aliens on top of it.
1 minute it's Julius Caesar.
The next he's talking about trans
already.
About 10 minutes in.
I know, shit. I think it's a mad, wild combo, bro, and I think that these conspiracy theories have been going on for years. Area 51, fucking all these places that sightings have been seen, and people saying. I mean, I wouldn't go. It's hard to call what's fake and what's not fake anymore. Because like the people who have said they've been abducted by aliens and they've been like probed and brought up on ships. But then you listen to them. Yeah, they're always like some.
They've been watching too many films, haven't it?
Yeah, they're always some fucking hillbilly idiot that's got no clue what's going on.
Trust me.
I think, like you said, bro, like how wild is it to think that not on top of all the other shit we've got going on, how crazy the world is as well. Oh, all right, thought the Earth was crazy enough.
Yeah.
Fucking throw some aliens in.
Have you seen people walking around in America and act like dressed up as aliens?
It doesn't surprise. America is one of the funniest countries on the planet.
Those three geezers that were running around, as you know, the three aliens off Toy Story, like their claw. Darting about America.
That's jokes, like in full suit.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But, I don't know. It's a sticky one because obviously, like, there's just no evidence. Like, obviously, there's that little bit of the Navy pilot. Again, I watched a film recently. I can't even remember what it was. I think it might have been Mission Impossible, actually, at the start of it. Spoiler alert, if it is Mission Impossible.
Maverick.
The new one, part one, yeah.
Sorry, you said Mission Impossible, didn't you?
Yeah.
I said Maverick. I'm on about Top Gun. Because it's fucking Tom Cruise, isn't it?
I thought it might have been called up Mission Impossible Maverick or something. I don't really watch the names of that.
Thank God I pulled myself up on that. Carry on, sorry. Mission Impossible.
What's it got in there?
I know, yeah. Carry on.
And they're in like a submarine. I think that's the one word I can't say. In a submarine at the start of it. And they, on their radar, it looks like they've got like a missile coming towards it. And they're all like, brace. And there's nothing coming towards it. Someone's tricked them on that fucking thing, and it just makes you think like it's just unreliable.
Is that from Mission Impossible? That scene you're talking about? See, I'm sure there's a scene not a scene. There's a scenario in real life, something very similar to this, where there's a bunch of people on a submarine, like the Navy or whoever it is, and there's something on the radar that looks like it's coming at speed, and then it's just past them,
just gone,
and then just fucked off. You're like, the fuck was that? Yeah. How can something move that quick? Something that we physically can't explain. Like, we're at a point in history where a lot of things are probably explainable. Like, a lot of things are already found out. Like, you can't really, there's not really any more layers to gravity. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've kind of figured it out. But that's not to be ignorant and say there's not new education and new stuff to learn about these topics at all. But I think, like, with all the technology and all the things that we have and all the kind of shit we've seen over the years, like, we should be able to explain this. If we can't, then it leads the question, innit, of like, what do you think about aliens? Because I completely agree with you. That the fucking footage is grainy. It's fucking, we barely get any good actual proof. Like, this guy's saying all these things. It's good to say it all, and I think most people are probably, from a standpoint, unless you're like a bit of a conspiracy theorist and you like to keep an open mind, I guess, people are either thinking it's bullshit, completely bollocks, or okay, well, where's the proof?
I think there's something. There is something. Again, I'm not saying it's like the little green thing on the front of your Space Raiders package.
Yeah.
But where's that come from, though?
Exactly.
Who's made that?
Yeah.
Like, something must have stemmed from someone or something.
Where's the root of an alien being a little green head like that?
Yeah,
Why are
yeah,
all
yeah.
aliens like that?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, even when you think of like Alien the film,
Yeah.
like, I'm not saying they're going to look like this big motherfucker with
Yeah.
like this big massive head and like, you know,
Somalian.
yeah. But
Sorry,
like,
Somalis.
I just mean like, oh, see, I think it a bit more towards what you're saying. I think that could just be people, but you're saying they shapeshift. But to them, we're aliens. So it's like,
It's true.
imagine if you come to Earth. So like, think of it from their perspective. You come to Earth, everyone's just killing each other. They've got these big, massive fucking nukes. They're like, fuck, touching Earth. I'm going back.
Yo, these things are bad. I need to blend in so I don't get smoked. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get any of this, especially the brown people. They're getting it bad. They got something. I don't know what's going on with that. But imagine, like, I think it's always like explaining to a child like a simple word. Like if you were to explain it to an alien, if they were to come down and like imagine what an alien's perspective is of us as a race.
Yeah.
Like they're obviously a super race. Like if you know.
But are they though? They could be way behind.
To be able to space travel, they're way ahead of us.
Well, how are they're not necessarily space traveling, are they? They could just be on a planet that we haven't got to yet.
But if it's a planet that we haven't got to yet, it's in space.
Oh, sorry, I thought you sounded like as in like through a different galaxy and all that. Yeah,
we don't know. It could be on a fucking galaxy. It could be on a planet on a galaxy. Because when you,
don't. You know, it's
to
like
zoom out.
Yeah, and there's like all these planets and galaxies and that.
Bro,
and they're trying to say we're the only people we're the only one on these planets. This is what I mean. I hate to go back into the Matrix and stuff.
Bring it up.
But you know when someone tries, you know, like when like someone says like you can't do that or like you shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
bro. When like a speck of dust in the galaxy, in one galaxy,
who the fuck cares?
What are you telling me what to do?
It's like when people care about.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's wild. It's wild.
And
you can't park there. What?
Fuck off!
Because
what? Some piece of paper says it by some nonsense at the top. Fuck off. Yeah, it's wild, bro. And that, even to another extent on that as well, just to finish at the alien point, is it's like when people care about other people's opinions. Respect in an infinite galaxy of who knows what, and to be so ignorant and arrogant to be like, we're the only life form in this entire... Fuck off.
Yeah,
bollocks.
It's embarrassing.
So I think to finish it up, what's your thoughts on the aliens? How
if I had to put my money on it, they're roaming. They're on Earth right now.
I agree with you, bro. I totally agree. I think they're here. I think there's a lot of stuff we don't know. There's a lot of stuff we won't know for a long time, probably before it's too late.
Yeah,
I think
they might have
potentially.
They might have taken over. Maybe the aliens are the Matrix.
Maybe
they're controlling us already.
Saunders, you're getting into it now. Shit. See what I've done? There was something I wanted to slip in there, a question I wanted to ask you, but it's gone from my head now, so we just move on.
Yeah. Go on.
The last thing I was going to say was like, to I guess, I know you got another thing to add, but it's like when things like this happen, the submarine, COVID, Oppenheimer, Barbie, aliens, it's like, why is all this shit suddenly being, why do they want our attention to be there rather than whatever the fuck's going on over there? Like, I always see, and this might be just me again being the tinfoil hat.
I was just about to say, he's got his fucking tinfoil hat on.
This might just me being the tinfoil hat guy, but I always seem to see a tendency in when there's some sort of big news in the media, they're always distracting us for some real shit that's going on. A big thing from Barbie and Oppenheimer was that no one's talking about The Sound of Freedom, which is a child trafficking film. That the industry of child trafficking alone brings in $20 billion a year. I mean, I won't even get into that in this podcast because it's disgusting and ridiculous. And if you haven't looked up The Sound of Freedom, I suggest you have a look. But I feel like there's always an exterior motive. When they put this shit into our face, what the fuck are they hiding in it? Same as a Chinese spy balloon. What the fuck was that about? Anytime there's any kind of aircraft in American space that looks dodgy, they take that shit down, but it took them 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to take it down. It wasn't even from China. Don't quote me, but it's always bollocks. Like, what are they hiding from us? So that's what I think when I see stuff like this.
I get what you're saying, but I just think there's so many different niches or like different industries. It's like everyone's just doing their own thing. So it's not really taking the attention away. It's like us filming a podcast now. We're not trying to take the attention away from
something else.
The news, are we? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We're just doing our own thing. But I know what you're saying on like on the news stuff. It's like, because the news, let's just remember, they report on the incidents. They don't have all the information on the actual incident. So it's almost like whatever the incident is, unless it's obviously like a car crash where they can physically go to and see it.
Yeah.
It's like the titles of like, they've wanted they've only found that out because they've been told it, haven't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
There's an agenda
Yeah.
to tell that.
That Titan stuff was mad. I don't want to get too much into that because that shit makes me that one keeps me up at night.
Titan stuff.
The submarine.
Oh yeah. Again, it's just
because there was a theory, right?
No one gives a fuck about it now. No one's talking about it. Not
and look how long that was on the news for. Do you know what I mean?
2 weeks in the news, and now no one gives a fuck.
There was a thing where it was saying like these billionaires, because obviously it was all like billionaires on there, and it cost like 250 bags. They were saying they've actually paid to escape.
Fucking hell.
And obviously, like I know everyone said like all these fucking scientists on YouTube in the YouTube comments, it's going to implode, it's obvious, all this stuff. All right, mate, okay. So you didn't fucking know what Titan was until 6 weeks,
literally.
Obviously, it would have exploded, this, that, and the other. But, like, there was a theory that like they went down, like swam, like obviously fucked off in the submarine and give the billionaires new identities because they didn't like the fame and the wealth and the fortune. They just wanted to live a more, a free life, basically. And I was like, oh shit.
Ed, don't get me started on the conspiracy theories because I fucking love a conspiracy theory. And I don't want people to think I'm just blindly believe every conspiracy theory. But when someone brings a good one up, it's like, yo, they've escaped. The first rebuttal that comes to my mind was, and again, I don't want to start going into this, but why would they publicise it on the news if they were going to do that?
And this is the big one. Going back to the aliens for a minute, aliens has always been a soft, a topic that no one touches.
Yeah.
And what's the old phrase? Curiosity kills the cat. Anyone who was looking into aliens before, it was a no-go. You just get, like, do you remember like Bob Lazar and stuff?
Yeah.
All that shit in the 90s. Like, what about all that stuff? Do you know what I mean? Just get shut down. And then just miraculously, we've got a whistleblower now.
Yeah.
They'd have killed him before.
Exactly. He'd been black bag. He wouldn't even made it to Congress.
We wouldn't even know who he is. But no, it's all in the mainstream media. Get it on fucking Sky News. Why?
Literally, start waking up, people. Ask yourself that exact question. Why? That's all I'm asking you to do. Why they should ask yourself critical thinking questions. Why are they showing me this? What benefit does this have to me? What can I do about it? Most times, nothing. Why are they showing me this information? What do they want me to gain from this? What do they want me to learn from this? What do they want me to feel? What do they want me to feel from? Who's the information coming from? What's their motives? Just critical thinking. Like, don't just believe everything you read. Do your research, what we've been saying for a long time. But Ed, I've got some bangers. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier, bro. Yeah. Scrolling through Twitter earlier, and I came across this thread.
Hit me.
I think you're going to like it.
Hit me, baby.
Dumbest lies you've told. So we'll start from the top.
Dumbest lies?
Dumbest lies you've ever told. Told my pals for 3 years I didn't know how to tie shoelaces, so they tie it for me because I'm a lazy fucking bastard.
What the fuck? How old, bro? How old is bro?
What was you doing? For 3 years, so people would tie your shoelaces.
Bro, I'd be like, go strap your K-Swiss on, you get me?
You need the Velcro
you know
thing.
What I mean?
You get it. You clearly something's wrong. Grown ass.
Get some Crocs, bro. Sportsman, you're gone.
You get me. I don't need to tie nothing. Get me. Told my mum I got triple B in my A-levels and photoshopped the result sheet. Collected the certificates months later and said that I lost them on the bus, so she went in and got new ones after speaking to my teacher, still thinking I got triple Bs. Red mist started to descend. Could you imagine? Your ma just turned up to get your results. Fair play, man. Went the ultimate. He was holding, doubling, quadrupling down on it. Photoshopped the results. Said I lost them on the bus.
Well, we all do it on the CVs anyway, don't we?
What about this geezer?
Just saying.
4K.
Just saying. I don't know.
Some people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's wild.
That's wild. I told a Lyft driver I was a writer, and when he pressed further, I said I write sci-fi short stories. He said, "Whoa, not much of a market for that. Where do you publish them?" Magazines mostly. I felt like I was on fire the whole time.
What?
Just digging this hole, innit? She's just digging a hole. She said she's blind. She's about a lawyer. She's a writer. She's saying, "Oh yeah, I write sci-fi short stories." And he's like, "Whoa, there's not much of a market for that, is there?" Still pressing, like not just believing it. She's like, magazines. It's just getting worse. Just digging a hole. I don't know what I do.
I seen a funny little skit on TikTok like the other day about something like that, and it was like me applying for the job, well knowing I haven't got any of the qualifications, and it's like speaks French on the thing, and he gets the job, they're like, and then they say, "Oh, like John, like, you speak French. Can you come and speak to the new guy who's French?" And he's like, Shit. So these two guys come into the same room, and the one just goes, "What is that?" And the other one does it back, and they both can't speak French to get to the
both
job.
from gassed on it.
And they just look at each other.
Class. One time, my mum was nagging me about not giving her grandkids yet. I was drunk and irritated, so I told her I did have a kid with a girl, but she wouldn't let me see him. Took a few days to throw enough cold water on that situation.
Yeah, that's a stupid. What do you want though? You've given the grandkid, bro. Take it. That's something you do, man.
Yeah, just to shut her up. I was just drunk and that. I've already got a kid. Shut up. What? Where? I was drunk. Sorry, I was lying. I haven't got a kid. I'm sorry. Sorry, I haven't got a kid. Told my elementary school friend I had a Nintendo. Every time he came over, I told him it was in the shop being worked on. Finally, one day, he said, "That must be the richest Nintendo worker because he's always working on it." Fucking violated him. In the second grade, I told a kid that the spider in the sandbox would give him Spider-Man powers. He had to get sent home earlier that day.
No way. Poor geezer, you know.
Just blatantly lied to him. In the sandbox,
Oh,
he'll get the Spider-Man powers.
I thought he was going to get bit by the spider and not turn into Spider-Man.
Yeah, he did. He did get... Oh, you thought he was going to turn it? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It was a cruel story, Saunders. I'm sorry, bro.
Going back to that last one, I've just got a funny story of that.
Right.
You know, you said your first one was like, what's the biggest lie you've told? And the next
Well, this is what they are. These are all people's replies, all their biggest lies.
Yeah. So you got that one, but then obviously you said the one to do with the Nintendo just now, innit?
Yeah.
So when I was in year 6, and this probably comes back to probably one of my biggest lies, innit? So this is actually disgusting. This will be a good.
Wait, hold it. Actually, let me finish these, and then I want to hear yours. I needed a break today, so I told my son I needed to go and milk a cow for a few hours. He's 4. Where did she go? Who's looking after the kid? What did you just say to a 4-year-old? I'm just going to get milk and just fucked off.
So you're like, I thought that's what the dads do. Well, that's what you told me anyway.
Wow. Whoa. I've only seen what I've seen. I told a kid that 20 of my garbage Pokemon cards added up to the same price as his first edition Blastoise. Hustle lasted 24 hours before his mom spoke, and I had to return the card.
Defo jacked his Charizard, innit?
Oh yeah, he said it was a limited edition Blastoise.
Oh, Blastoise.
Yeah.
Oh, he was this green G, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, the blue thing.
I think he was the geese with the, I don't know. I'm shit at Pokemon. When The Mummy, the 1999 version, came out on DVD, I told everyone in my class I was Egyptian descent as to appear interesting.
No way.
It's just a stupid lie, isn't it?
What's it?
I can't really remember like stupid lies, so I'll let you go first. See when you pull out.
So I think I want to start off by saying honesty is the best policy. I think now, obviously, when you're honest with everything, you can never get found out, or you can never get caught out, or you can never get, life's a lot simpler.
You're living in the truth.
But we're going all the way back to
the truth.
We're going all the way back to my last day in year 6 of junior school now. So obviously, honesty might have not been the best policy for me at that age. Yeah,
gas it up. Actually, I got a good one.
So it's the last day. I can't believe this is the same person,
Come on.
It's the last day, and obviously, what day is it? It's toy day. Everyone's bringing in their toys.
Toy day was always the biggest lie day.
So I don't know what was going on. So a couple of the people must have left the class, and obviously we all keep our bags in the class and that. Bro, I was going around jacking everyone's toys, innit? I was jacking like wrestlers and that, innit? You know what?
Hulk Hogan's The Rock.
There's someone who might be listening to this podcast who recently come around here who you were helping out with some stuff. We'll probably remember it actually because it was in the same class actually.
That's hilarious.
So there's 2 points on this actually. So the first one was we get to the end of the day and this one kid goes, "Miss, I've lost like 3 of my wrestlers," and I was like, "Fuck, he knows." He knows. So obviously the teacher's got us all in a line, all with our bags in it.
Yeah.
Each one just going individually through the bag in it.
And it's in your bag.
Yeah. So I'm just standing there, tensing my biceps. I'm like, she's got to open the bag, and they're just in there, and I was like, "What? Who set me up? Who's done that? Yeah,
who's done this?"
So that was on one. That was a fucking awkward one, to be fair, bro. But the second time, the next one I didn't ever get found out. If it wasn't for my mum who caught me, right? So
We got an exclusive.
this one was a bit mad. This wasn't wrestlers, bro. I took someone's plate, like PSP home. Do you remember the
of course.
PSPs? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
So
straight.
he had a white one, and my mum had recently just bought me the black one.
Yeah.
So she knew what colour mine was. So I bought this white PSP and I was holding my bag all funny. And she was like, "Yeah, I'll take your bag." I was like, "No, don't worry about it. It's all right, cool." Then we got home and she goes, "What's that PSP in the bag?" I said, "Mum," I said, "I'll be totally honest. I snuck my PSP in for toy day today. I knew you said not to.
I'll be honest.
But I did it."
I'll be honest.
So she goes,
Crucial words.
She goes, "I thought yours was black." I said, "No, like, it was white. You knew it was white." And then I said, I can't remember what it was, but I said something, and she goes, "All right, then we'll go." I can't remember the whole story, but something was like, I said I'd got like another one upstairs, or mine was a spare one or something. And she goes, "Okay, go get yours from upstairs then." And I did it, and she was like, "This isn't yours." Like, I can't remember how she found me out, but she found me out blatantly. Mate, she fucking marched me back to that school and made me give that PSP.
I respect it.
Time.
I respect it. Because I was. Are you done?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've never started anything since.
I rate that. You know what? I was thinking about this earlier, and I was thinking about because I definitely stole kids' Yu-Gi-Oh cards out of their fucking backpacks when I was in school.
Yeah,
they were getting teethed. I remember I had a fat chunk. I don't think I ever got caught for it. I think the teachers tried to stop me before I left the school. They had a look and that, and I said, "No, they're mine." And I fucked off home, and I'm pretty sure I had like 2 fat. That was like the money man. You get me? Like 2 fat stacks of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, taking pics at home like that. But yeah, I don't think I ever got caught for them. But what I was going to say was, yeah, I think it's mad to think about this kind of stuff that kids do, and the conversations you're going to have with your kids when they do that shit, and you've got to be the one to march them back down there and show them the right thing. Like, you can't be taking shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have to do it. All of us are going to have to do it.
It's mad.
Like, your kids are going to, and not all of us, obviously, but most kids end up, kids being kids, innit? You just do dumb shit. You're like, "Oh, if I can get away with it, no one's gonna know. I'm in the cloakroom on my own,
exactly.
I think one of the dumbest lies I ever told people. I think it was probably I was very young. I want to say like year 3 or something. I'd probably just moved to the school, and I just told everyone that I had like quads and motocross bikes and that. And so I had like 3 quads, like bare dirt bikes and that. I was probably only about 8, probably 6. I was young as fuck. Weird memory, just made me remember. But yeah, and I remember after a while, like people asking me about them, and I just like stopped talking about it. Stop talking about it. What? I just said, what? I just said, quad bikes, bro. You on about? Obviously, little 6-year-old me wasn't speaking about that, but yeah, funny nonetheless. I got another one for you.
Go on.
I got another one for you. This one was predominantly pictures, so I wasn't going to do this one, but there was a couple of good ones. We'll call this one like an honorable mentions. Worst thing ladies found in a man's bathroom. You can only imagine the pictures that I saw on this one, bro. Yeah. There was one where Geezer had a shotgun in his, where you put the plunger. No. Shotgun in the plunger.
Shoot it down the street.
Yeah, apparently so. First time I walked into my ex-boyfriend's house, I asked to use the bathroom. He told me just to wait a few minutes. Went in there. I heard a bunch of noise. He went in there, sorry. I heard a bunch of noise. He comes out and tells me it's okay to go in there now. I walked in and it reeked of shit.
Oh. So he just took
a shit. So he just said, "No, you can't go in there." But think about it. He said, "No, you can't go in there yet. I need to take a shit first." Absolutely respect it.
Yeah, fair play.
It's his house.
Yeah.
You want to take a shit.
I thought you were going to say like a dead body or like an animal. Or
there was some animal head ones there was some funny ones. I once dated a guy who lived in a shared house with 2 other guys. The base of their shower was covered in black mould apart from where they stood under the shower head, and there was a worn away outline of a pair of feet. Foul.
Oh, that is vile. As if they were showering in that.
Finished it on foul.
That is nasty, bro.
Disgusting. The entire shower was filled with pop collectible figures, all in the boxes.
Oh, they had them little fucking head things that everyone collects there.
Literally tub to shower head. So where did he shower?
No, that is disgusting, man.
When I moved my son out of his freshman dorm, one of the mothers asked who was taking the mat in front of the shower. I looked in the bathroom. It wasn't a mat. It was the mold from under the mat that they threw away.
Oh, so it was just mold.
Just the outline of the mold from underneath the mat. Oh, it makes me feel sick. It makes me feel vile. this was just a classic one to end it off on. A phone book. It was being used as toilet paper.
What? Bro was wiping his ass with the yellow pages.
The yellow pages. I respect it. Yo, the one thing about men is they will make it work.
Well, that sounds like some Wolf of Wall Street. He's probably calling the
numbers.
Business, isn't it?
Wiping his ass.
Like, fuck you.
Nah, incredible. Some of the threads that you see on Twitter, bro, I had to bring them up because I thought, yo, too funny. But I've got a question for you, Saunders. What is something that puts you off in a girl?
Oh, so many things. I think an initial one that you'd probably see before you get like deep rooted into it, smoking.
I'd agree. I'd agree.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Don't like it.
But I just feel like, yeah,
you stink a fag.
Yeah,
just stink a fag smoke. Breath.
Imagine like kissing a girl and like
you
just smell like.
Just finish the fag and you kiss her and you.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
What do you say?
I would say a girl that like cakes herself in makeup. Like cakes herself in it.
That's a good one.
Like it's just not good.
That's one you could find out pretty fast as well.
Real fast.
If they're looking lame on their Instagram and absolutely like a different person on their Snapchat, bro.
Yeah. And there's certain ways of finding out. Boys, FaceTime the girls before you meet them, boys. FaceTime. In the morning, at night, not in the middle of the day, when they're going to be dolled up, ready to go out. Like, FaceTime them at night, once they've had a shower and they're chilling.
Catch them at 6 a.m. or catch them at...
You get what I'm saying? Before they put the face on, and then you can know, and there's nothing wrong with putting makeup on. Nothing wrong with putting makeup on, but when you're literally totally changing the entirety of your face. Remember when, like, what's that stuff called? Contour. Remember when like girls are like contouring their entire face, and men will literally look at like the most butters females were like turning into like goddesses. And you were like, oh, that's makeup.
Oh, it's crazy. There's some there's some girls who like make like good views off it on TikTok and stuff now.
Yeah,
they almost make themselves look ugly.
Yeah.
I can't lie, and then they turn into a different person. Like, imagine waking up next to that the next day. Going,
Imagine you had a toupee. When you were 24 years old, you know what a toupee is?
No.
Fake hair.
Oh, a toupee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry, I was probably saying it.
No, you wasn't. I was just being an idiot.
Okay.
I was just being an idiot.
But imagine you had a toupee, yeah. Imagine you had like fake hair, like a fucking wig. And or you wore those shoes that make you go like
20 feet tall.
Yeah. And if you took your shoes off, you were 5'8", and your missus was 5'9".
That they get found out real fast with that one as well.
Instantly, as soon as I get to your crib, unless I keep my crepes on until we lie down, and then when we lie down in the bed and our feet are touching the same length, you're gonna be baffled.
And you get up to cuddle and just pat you on your head.
You're baffled.
Sticky.
But is there any other ones you got? What else puts you off? Smoking was a good one.
Yeah, I'd say that's from like a physical standpoint. I'd say from maybe not an emotional standpoint, but I'd say drive. I thought this isn't for all girls, but I know a lot of girls who have they've just got nothing going on. Like, and I'm not forcing, good habits, and you've got to read, you've got to meditate, you've got to do all that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, just blue pillars, basically.
Yeah.
Literally just
be interested in something.
Yeah, eat like shit. Don't have any interest.
Yeah.
Hate their job, but go and do it every day.
Yeah.
They've got nothing else going on. They just live
no other hobbies.
Yeah. Live for the weekend.
Just an agent.
Yeah, just an agent. Basically an agent, a female blue pill agent. Exactly. That's my ick, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's a definite one. I would say there's two for me that I'm going to say. I'd say if she's one of these girls that's like screaming on Snapchat, like, nah, get the fuck in the bin. No, absolutely not.
I hear that. I know
embarrassing.
You're in the clubs and that, and they're like singing the songs, and you can't actually hear them, but you can see they're screaming.
Oh God, it makes me feel.
Who's watching that? Who's going, oh yeah, 20 stories, she's in the club. I'm not going to skip them, I'm going to fucking watch them. Just drawing over her singing.
Oh my God. Who the fuck is watching it? I see her, I'm like, I don't even use Snap anymore because it's terrible.
Disgusting.
It actually is a terrible app. And then another one for me would be, and it might be a controversial one, and females probably might like saying this, but promiscuous past. promiscuous past, man. If I'm going to say it black and white because that's how I keep it. If you're a hoe, and no. If you're a hoe, you gotta go. Simple as that.
If you're a hoe, you gotta
go. Simple.
So on that subject, right? Have you seen that Adam 22's been coming out now saying he wants to fuck Jason Love up?
Well, I'd seen a little bit of that. I've seen that back and forth. I don't know how much you know because I dabble in it sometimes here and there on Twitter. But how recent was this? And so I'll tell you what I know, and then you can tell me if you already know it. So obviously, I seen they'd gone on the podcast. Jason had obviously said he'd fucked his wife better than him.
No way, is that what Jason said?
Someone asked him. Someone was like, "Do you think,
bro? Imagine that being your bird.
That's your wife.
It's your wife.
Your wife, the mother of your child. They have a child together, bro. It's weird." Jason said that he. Someone asked him, "Do you think that you fucked Lena better than Adam?" And he said, "Yeah, well, obviously." And I think he got on another one saying when she's like feeling it and that, like, she's like, yeah, any hole, like it's any. All holes barred. No holes barred, sorry. And Adam and him. I know, yeah. All holes unbarred is what I meant. But yeah, him and Adam had gone on a podcast on a No Jumper with Lena as well, and Adam was him and going back and forth.
Well, him and Jason?
Yeah.
On the same podcast?
Yeah. I think this was before he'd come out on the second interview talking shit. So I think after it all happened and all the controversy was happening, them two sat down, they spoke about it. It was kind of, Adam still felt a little way about it. Anyway, after that interview, I think that's when he'd done another interview, and that's when he'd answered like this. So I think it has been heated up again. But again, if there's been anything new that I don't know.
This is just something I saw this morning, to be honest.
Okay.
So, and I think it was posted like last night, kind of thing. But he'd obviously said something. He was like, "No, I do want to." It might be cap, or it might have been just like a bit of a funny thing, but it didn't seem that funny. And he was just like, I'd like to fight him, I'd fuck him up. And then there's like Jason Love's reaction. He's like, "I'm down to fight, bro." He's like, "If you want that, like, I'm down."
Yo,
Adam 22's got some balls in it.
Yo,
Jason Love's a big motherfucker.
Jason Love smoking. I tell you what else I seen the other day. I seen Jason Love getting exposed for having bare fake watches. Man's on a thing, opens up his briefcase and he's like,
he's got a watch case and he's got a fake watch in it, bro.
Yeah.
As if he's got the balls to open the case and be like,
so the geezer asks him and he's like, "How much is this worth?" Then he's probably like, you could see he wasn't confident in it. He's like, "Probably a couple mil." And then the watch experts are calling him out on IG, bro, saying your watches are fake and that, and Adam's smoking him and that, saying, "Yeah, your watches are fake," tearing him on. So it's all drama, man. It's all.
I don't know, bro. He's got to be on some whack though, isn't he?
I don't know, has he?
I don't know.
And it's not hard to fake it, Saunders. It's not hard to fake it, bro.
It's not hard to fake it, but I just mean for the whack he's on.
APs and that.
But APs are cheap, though.
I know.
You can get them for like $500,000.
No, but I know of professional basketball players that have retired that only used to buy fake jewellery to keep his wealth. Because they know what it's about. Wear the jewellery, wear the watches, drive the cars. Fuck what, I'm trying to save my money. I'm trying to be good for life.
Yeah,
you get me?
I hear that.
Fucking, I'll wear it and make them think I'm like that and wear the fake jewellery and the fake AP. Really, I think I low-key think it's
actually quite
a 1,000 IQ play to play up to the part with fakes.
Yeah.
And then, because if you could, I think if you can afford it and then you can afford to fake it, then I'd fake it. If I'm a millionaire, I mean, what
do you need to prove?
Exactly.
Because why do most people wear all that stuff? A lot of the times, like, I'm not saying everyone, but like, we've always associated, when you see kind of these people in like these big, massive brands, and they've got the big fat cars, but then they're going back to like some shitty little house. It's just like
wearing lubes and sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, literally, exactly. Like the most expensive thing you've got. Yeah.
Is there any more icks that you've got? I gave 2 last ones there. Or we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, hit me with a new one.
All right, so it's basically the same question, but where are we at? What's something a girl can do to put you off? No, sorry. What's something you've done to put a girl off?
I'd probably just say not being present. Not kind of.
What do you mean by present?
So like it's the classic, but you're always on your phone, but you're not texting me. That kind of thing. So I feel like sometimes you work a lot and you don't actually realise that you're isolating another person. And if you're going to be with someone,
you have to take that into account.
Yeah. So that's from like Is that what you mean from like?
Yeah.
Because obviously that one wouldn't happen if you just met someone.
Yeah.
And you went about like, oh, look, I pick my nose and eat it.
I think you can be free. Yeah, you could use. Yeah, I would like some of them ones off the rip as well. Like if you used to be let's say like if you didn't wash it, if you were like, who would probably admit that anyway? But like if you didn't wash your hands or something, have to go into the toilet or something like, anything that you could think of that you've ever spoken to a girl and she just like stopped speaking to you.
Oh, being too blunt with them, definitely.
Oh, that's class. That's class.
You know when everyone like wavers to them. Oh, was this one time? I don't remember. I can't remember. I was at like a bar somewhere, and like everyone was chatting to this girl, and she goes to me, hold my wine, and then like tried to walk off. And I don't know you. Like, be like a random. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking geezer or a girl. She goes, hold my wine. I just started creasing. I said, fuck off, I ain't holding you wine, obviously.
I would have
just dashed the wine.
I would just dropped it out of my hand.
But everyone else, like, oh yeah, I'll get you one for
you know, blunt. Yeah. So you just like, nah, fuck that, I ain't holding it. I respect the fuck out of it, Saunders.
Appreciate it.
I respect that. Yeah, I'd probably agree, probably being too straight and sometimes probably being too confident as well.
Yeah.
I think that puts chicks off sometimes. Yeah, I think sometimes being a confident man to some girls, it just, I wouldn't say to a majority of girls at all, but I'm very boisterous and extroverted and like, I got a lot of energy.
A lot of people can get intimidated by that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've had men and women feel intimidated by it, and I don't try and intimidate. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you just thought I just had to slip that in, like the men and the women. Yeah, God, this kid's laughing at me.
Nah, not even.
Come on,
just making me think of that TikTok you made with the PlayStation.
Why did I know you was gonna say that?
Oh, it's been so long since I jumped on with the
boys. Man, jeez. Yeah, Eddie's talking about a TikTok that I made. Oh, I should really put it up on my
slap
TikTok,
slap it up somewhere. Slap it on your TikTok.
I'll re-upload it on my TikTok, so if you care, you can go watch it. But yeah, I made like a typical the man them like waiting to jump on the PlayStation, and you're getting bullied when you jump in the PlayStation party because like you join the party that you don't know no one, and all the man them are like, who the fuck's this geezer, man? Sim's not here, man. Like crying on the headset and throwing it. Fuck.
It just reminded me when we used to join a group chat. Do you remember? Like,
how have you even gone from the question I asked you to that?
I know, but you know when like, what I was saying is you said sometimes you come across as a little bit intimidating.
Oh,
so like when I was in school, like you join like my school parties, and it like we're like, yeah, right. You're like, oh, yes, boys, what's going on? What you saying?
Yes, Saunders, what's good?
No one will talk. And then after a couple of seconds, you just see one of them leave.
Yeah.
And the next one, and every time it ended up just being me and you party.
You know what? As soon as you started getting onto your point, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Like the way I would just be like, yeah.
So yeah, it obviously is intimidating in a weird way.
In a weird way, yeah. Like people are just, and maybe it wasn't intimidating. Maybe fans were just like, yo, these geezers are fucking Norse. I hate when Sim joins the party screaming, "Fucking take your tablets." I think for me, yeah, I think it's probably the same. Being too honest, being too blunt, like really kind of, especially like, this actually brings me on to another good little segment for us before I get onto my hot takes. But previously I'd had a conversation with a girl, and it's a delicate conversation. I think it's a conversation about truth, honesty. Again, I always hate using these buzzwords like high value man, but I'd say a man with a lot of options, or a man that has a lot of room to exercise a lot of options. And what I'm talking about is men sleeping with a lot of women versus women sleeping with a lot of men, and men sleeping with women in a relationship, and women sleeping with men in a relationship. And it's a very wide umbrella. Even just from the fucking topics I've just said. But the be all and end all of it, to cut straight down the middle to through the bullshit, is men simply can have sex with all women in relationships and not give a fuck and still care about his queen. Women cannot, because women are emotional creatures. They're the gatekeepers to sex. A man cannot have sex with a woman without a woman opening her legs and accepting that man to have sex with him. Men are the gatekeepers of marriage, because a man has to get down on one knee and ask a woman to marry him, become his queen, become his wife. So for a woman to get sex is fucking easy. Any woman, any of the females watching this now could go out today, pick the first man off the street and say, you want to have sex? And now probably 99.9% will say, yeah, fuck it. Obviously, like most men are starving. Like 1 in 3 men are either a virgin or haven't had sex in the last year. That's like a real statistic. Wherever you put it, it's a big predominator. So anyway, yeah, I think women can't hear this conversation and can't understand this. Some women, I have to remember to keep saying some, because I do sometimes, it's like all or women think, and it's like, it's not all women. I know that. People should know that. I don't think it's every single woman or every single man. But again, the whole argument comes down to, it's both of our fault. It's men and it's women's fault. If men weren't bums and they actually fucking studied stoicism and got on their shit and didn't care about pussy, because that's what most men
that's
care about.
Yeah,
that's the downfall. And even me, as I've kind of come to a realization of this, and it might sound really egotistical and like fucking narcissistic or whatnot, but I really don't give a shit, because it's just truth. But I have always had a lot of female attention from the time I was 14. Always. I've always been the pretty boy, the good looking boy, dresses well, whatnot. And as I've got older, more mature, whatnot, I've been seen as I've always had females. Just that's just the way it's been. This is just the truth of it. And that is seen as, by my peers, as a fucking achievement. Man's like, how the fuck does Sim do it? Like, how the fuck does Sim do it?
Yeah.
And it's because it's not easy for normal men to do that. So it's been a downfall for me. And I'd argue, if I was uglier, I'd probably be a lot more successful, because I wouldn't be so like, it wouldn't be so easy to me because it's always been a normal. So for most men, it's not a normal. So any kind of interaction that they get, like I just said, the woman who walks out of the front door and just says, "Yeah, I'll have sex," it's because they're not getting it. And women seem to think that men just fucking, they're always shagging everything.
Yeah.
But again, this is where the ugly, I don't like to use the word ugly, it's subjective, but these lower grade females that are just like bums, same as the men, they're just bums. They've got they're fucking on the dole, they're just tramp, like they're just not good, but they're still getting fucked. That's the point. So if the men weren't still fucking the low value women, and the low value women weren't allowing the low value men to fuck, everyone would just improve.
They're just level
and
up.
You'd be fighting for the queens, because they wouldn't be letting anyone fuck. The mating ground would be fucking intense. You'd be like, there's all these females, they're not letting us fuck. Like, I have to become a high value man.
Sure. Well, you might start the swing there, so we better get ahead of the curve over here.
Well, I hope you're listening, ladies, because I'm telling you, it's a horrible. And again, I want to reiterate this point. Even through, I've just been, and that was a really fucking good point that I managed to get straight through the bullshit to. And some women might not hear it, and I could argue and talk about it for days. But the reason why females can't hear this conversation, or again, most females can't hear this conversation, is because they think about it on an emotional level. Women are the emotional creatures, men are the very logical creatures. And I'm not saying all of us, we're just as much the problem. A lot of us are still idiots, but a lot of us act in the same ways. Men are very simple creatures. We all act in the same ways. And in some ways, so do women, in quite a lot of ways, actually. But the ideologies and the belief systems that are being put into the young girls' heads is why this whole dynamic is so stressful at the moment. And again, it comes down to honesty. If you're a low value man, but if you're a man that has a lot of options, let's say I was completely broke, for example, I was a bum, but I was still good looking, but I was kind of let's say I was just an average man, but I was good looking in like a 9 to 5, and I had a lot of options, but I'm not really looking after my main woman. I'm not paying her bills. She's not looked after. You don't really have the leverage unless from the beginning you have that conversation with your woman and you say, look, I am quite a good looking man. I'm not trying to be egotistical. I do get a lot of female attention. There might be the odd chance that I'm out on a night out, or I'm on again, maybe not doing business trips because you're an average guy, but there just might be a chance that I'll end up fucking another woman. Now, that is a horrible thing for a woman to hear. They can't physically understand that. And again, it's not really, and most women will say to you, fuck off then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's
the soldier as a man, though. Watching your bird coming up to you and going,
but women cheating and men cheating is totally different because of the emotion.
You know what? I used to think that, but I think that's bullshit now. Like, girls say this, but I think it's bullshit, to be honest. Maybe there are some girls, but in the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, I don't think so. Like, look at like.
Well, yeah, you're not lying, to be fair. You're not lying, to be honest. The men are actually women are starting to out cheat men these days. Like, that's actually a fact.
Definitely.
So I don't know. I think it's yeah, it's tough. It's tough because I was told earlier that basically, it sounds quite sad to be like, because my mum asked me basically, she was like, do you think you'll ever have like one woman that you'll just be with? I'm like, I don't see it. I really don't, Ed. Really? I've had 27 years of life. I've had a couple of great females, and I've never been loyal to any of them. Yeah. I just can't. And it's not because I don't love them. At the time, and when I was deeply in love with them, I was deeply in love with them because that's how I felt. But I just couldn't control the urge. And this is, again, that's what people are saying. It's like controlling the urge. But again, another rebuttal to my argument is, if you gave a man, or if you gave the male population a button that says, every now and then you can fuck another woman, but you can stay with your wife and she doesn't care about it.
They're all gonna
The majority of men will, it doesn't matter what the number is, the majority of men will press that button. So for females to be so naive to think that you're going to hold down a man out of the majority of men that will press that button, whether they act on it or not is a different thing. And again, I don't think it's correct, but this is just the way men are, biologically. But yeah, I guess I'm done on my point. Do you wanna clap back?
Yeah, no, I think it's a tough one. It is,
and obviously you're in a relationship, so you don't want to. You wouldn't want to be like, yeah, well, actually, Sim, now you've mentioned it, trying to drop the subtle hints. No, that's not what I'm not trying to set you up for failure here, Ed. But just in your honest opinion, let's say you were in a relationship, I don't know, just answer how you want. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It is a funny one.
What's your opinion on it? Okay, if a man's honest from the start on his intentions, like I said, and he tells a woman, look, I get a lot of options, I get a lot of, there's a possibility that it might happen. Are you down with that? Obviously that's better than just going out and cheating, but what do you just think about that statement in general?
Well, I just think it's weird, isn't it? Like, imagine your girlfriend comes to you and is like, "Oh, well, I might sleep with someone when you've just got that." Like,
but the thing with women, the thing is, when women are in love with a man, they don't care about another man on the planet. That's their man. That's all they care about. And that's why they can't understand it, because we see our women like that, but we just don't. Sometimes just want to fuck on a bitch.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's some birds out there, man.
The majority that we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, probably. I don't know.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a good conversation.
Yeah,
so I like it. What I know you say you don't know, but try and pinpoint a thought on it.
So you're saying that men just basically think with their dicks, but then women think with their emotions, right?
Basically, yeah. Basically.
I think as a man, though, you should be able to control your sexual energy into one person. And
yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, so yeah, again, I don't. It is that, because again, even at my age now, I just kind of see sex as just degeneracy. Like if there's no meaning for it, if it's not someone actually cares about
your partner, there's no point.
There's no point in it. I'm kind of I'm like outgrow it. And it sounds weird to say it, but I feel like everyone gets to that point where it's like you outgrow it. Like you see nice females, you see nice guys and whatnot, and you think, like, again, it's like a passing thought. You think, yeah, like I would, but like it's not something I'm pursuing. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, it's so like you said, like the euphoria of it wears off so quick. It's like,
and that's it. And like when that your euphoria wears off and you've left one person to go with this new person, so you realise, oh shit, the grass weren't greener.
See, everyone says about the grass weren't greener, but again, I think if the conversation is had at the start, and the woman is in the conversation and understands, then she has the right to make the decision. Where men go wrong is, and again, like I said, there's a lot of things men go wrong in as well. We are equally, we're both equally as bad. Is that men are not truthful. If you had the conversation at the start, you wouldn't need to lie 8 months in after you fought 2 bitches.
So it's basically an open relationship in it, but obviously just the one way. It's funny because that's what Sean O'Malley's got, from the UFC.
Yeah,
he's got an open relationship
for him, but his missus is.
Well, no, they've both got an open relationship. Okay. She's just never done it.
Mm.
So it's like how she's just gone, to please him.
She's just. That's a fucking incredible that you said that, because someone said that to me earlier. Someone said exactly that. Someone said, "All right, then, well, if that's what the conversation would be, then I'd be like, all right, then, I want that option as well. I might never do it, but I just want you to know that I've got that option." And I was like,
you can't risk it. You can't risk it.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. That would hit me. I was like, that is long.
Yeah, no, if you think how well it worked out for Adam 22, mate, he's fucked.
And this is what I mean. And there's just a difference. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right, but there's just a difference in a woman cheating and a man cheating. It's just how it is. I don't agree. Like, as I say, I don't agree with it, but that's just the way it is. It's biology. It's literally biology. A woman that sleeps with a lot of men, most times ends up being damaged and hurt, and she's given it so much of a reproductive system. So many men have fucking shot in her. She's damaged by age 30. So if you protect your innocence and you protect your body as much as you possibly can, you're only going to increase your chances of finding a man.
Facts.
But we'll leave it on a hot take, Ed.
Yeah,
I think you're going to like this one.
Go on.
So, SK's hot take, Sim's hot take for the day is depression isn't real.
Depression isn't real.
Just no. I think people can be depressed, but I think it's still a choice.
I don't think it's a choice because it is a physiological disease, isn't it? So you can actually be diagnosed with depression if you're, say, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor.
Carry on.
Yeah, find it. So it basically claims that you can be clinically or physiologically depressed, basically. I just don't know what physiology it changes for you. I'm guessing it's something to do with your hormones.
So it says the law on disability discrimination, for example, someone with a mild form of depression with minor effects may not be covered. However, someone with severe depression with significant effects on their daily life is likely to be considered as having a disability.
Right, okay. So this says it's something to do with the nerve cell connections, the nerve cell growth, and the function of nerve circuits have a major impact on why depression is caused. So that's something that you can't.
Yeah, you have no factor in.
However, I'd like to find the statistic to see how many people who say I'm depressed have been clinically depressed.
Yeah.
Because
every
man and his dog, like, we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
It comes down to everyone loving to play the victim. It's so hard to go and, well, it's not actually hard. It's fucking easy to go and be successful in this market now because everyone's fucking bums. But I just mean, everyone loves to play the victim because it's easier than going out there and doing something hard. So, it's the classic, I used to be a footballer, but my knees playing up now. And it is
I used to be a man and then I changed to a woman so I could beat him in sports.
You had to get it in, didn't you?
I was cooking that one up for a minute at Saunders. It's hot take, so it's no holds barred again.
So, yeah, I do think it's real. It is. Depression is real. But I just think it comes back down to the olden times, doesn't it? When Marcus Aurelius and all these boys are about. Do you think they had time to be depressed, mate? They were fucking making an emperor, bro. Imagine how. This is what I don't like about depression as well. It's obviously going to vary in each different country. Let's say, does the kid in Africa, walk into a well for 3 miles to drink a bit of fucking dirty water, having to carry like shit on his back without any shoes? Does he have depression? I don't think he probably does. That's just his life.
But would you argue that that's just because the life he's used to, as to the life that we have in the West, where you can see someone else's life that's better and then feel depressed because that's not your life? Like their surroundings, that's their normal life every day, so that depression wouldn't hit them, and they don't really have social media to see like how people live in the West.
There's no science behind this, but obviously with so here's a good point actually. So like on TikTok, everyone scrolls or Instagram, whatever. When you swipe it down to refresh your TikTok, they say that's almost like a roulette wheel. You pull in the roulette wheel again and you're spinning around and you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what content's going to come, and you're getting that dopamine hit. So I reckon so many people just have so many dopamine hits about, look where that person is, look at this.
I agree.
It's so easy just to access so much information. When you come off it, you are going to be depressed because you're not getting that dopamine hit now.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about TikTok and I was thinking, it's great the amount of knowledge and information you can consume, but you're consuming so much of it, you're not actually even consuming it, you're just watching it. Something might stick, you might remember a little something out of 150 videos that you watch. You might potentially remember 5 to 10 things, if that. But the constant, like you said, every video is informational or educational or XYZ, and it's like you're learning something, you're motivated. Oh, that's emotional. Like you said, I think your emotions are just constantly on this fucking roller coaster. I totally agree with you, and I think on a very deep level, I think if people were to be very honest and looked at how much time they spent on their phones, and if they spent more time outside and in the gym, I said this. I tweeted this out a couple of weeks ago that depression isn't real. And a couple of people was like, wow, my depression would disagree. And I was like, okay. I was like, wow. Yeah. And again, I want to make it very clear. I definitely agree that, like it says, severe depression is an absolute real thing. Trauma, things that in your brain. But again, you can still sprout new brain cells and you know, like increase your brain power, basically, you know, sprout new stems and whatnot. But I think it is a lot to do with mentality. I think it's a lot to do with mental. I think if you haven't really got a lot of stuff to worry about, you know, if you look at, like, again, if you look at it in a stoic way and you look at it of like, right, what have I got going good for me? Okay, I've got a house, or I'm in my mom's house, or whatever my surroundings are. I'm alive, I'm breathing, like the main things, my family's healthy, whatever it may be, and everyone's is different. But I think the constant roller coaster of emotions from social media and, like you say, just the roulette wheel of spinning, not knowing what content you're going to get, whether it's going to be emotional, whether it's going to be sad, funny. Yeah, I agree. I think it plays a massive part.
I think that's it. And I find maybe this is just what it's like portrayed in films and stuff. And, you know, if anyone does have depression, feel free to actually tell me what it's like.
Educate us, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I was going to say, when you see depressed people in films and stuff, they're always in their room doing nothing.
Yeah.
They're not like, are they
on the phone?
Like,
just in the room on the dark on the phone.
Obviously, that must be bullshit. Of course, these people have obviously got 9 to 5 jobs and they're still going out and probably putting on a facade and putting on a smile, but really they're obviously depressed. So that was my point, pretty much, that an idle mind is a devil's playground, isn't it? Because you've got nothing going on. It's so easy to get negative thoughts and everything. But if you get up and you're doing stuff, man, we've got 3 simple tips to, you know, get yourself up and get going. Instead of social media, read.
Yep.
If you're feeling a bit down, meditate.
Yep.
And if you're feeling tired, just get sleep.
If you're feeling shit because you're indoors, go outside.
Yeah.
If you're feeling like you want to improve yourself, go to the gym. Like, drink water. Like, there's so many simple things that people just don't do to look after the
Spring
health.
water, not tap.
Spring, not tap. I've been on the tap, but it's not good. Blocks out the third eye.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know it's probably it. Yeah,
probably
doing
aliens.
a lot. Yeah, it probably is.
Probably.
What a great way to finish it off. Right, episode 3 in the fucking bag. Saunders,
good to catch up, bro.
Every single week.
Okay.
Like, comment on the video if you enjoyed this conversation and let us know what you want to hear about. Any closing thoughts, Saunders?
It's for free.
It's literally for free, yeah. Literally doesn't cost anything. So catch you in the next one, boys.
In the next one, boys.